Hey, it's Kaylee. In this lesson, we will learn how to find the circumference and the area of circles. Let's go. Before we jump into our calculations for circles, we need to know the parts of a circle. The first one is the center point, which is equidistant from every part of the outline or the edge of the circle. There are two important measures of a circle. The first is the diameter. It is the measure of the distance across the center of the circle, like this. We can also measure the distance from the center of the circle to the outer edge, like this. This one is called the radius of the circle. Do you notice any relationships between the diameter and the radius? That's right, the radius is half of the diameter. Let's do a quick example. If I have a circle with a diameter of 4, what is the radius of my circle? Yeah, I have to divide by 2, and I get a radius of 2. Now, if I have a circle with a radius of 3, what is the diameter of my circle? Yeah, I have to multiply by 2, and we get a diameter of 6. We call the perimeter of a circle the circumference. The circumference is the distance around the circle. Since there are no sides on a circle, we can't use our formula for perimeter where we add the lengths of all the sides. Instead, we have to find a relationship between the diameter of the circle and the perimeter of the circle. Luckily for us, the ancient Greeks spent a lot of time thinking about circles and ratios. An ancient Greek named Archimedes especially loved to think about the ratio between the circumference and the diameter of different circles. Let's explore what he discovered. Here I have a circle with a diameter of 1, and it's been painted along the edge or along the circumference with blue paint. Now I'm going to roll my circle along this number line here and see where the blue paint ends, and that will tell me what my circumference is. And once I know my circumference, I want to know the relationship between the diameter of my circle and the circumference of my circle. All right, so I know my diameter is 1. I'm going to unroll my circle. That's the length of our diameter, 1. So we're going past that. We're getting all the way to 3, and we have a little bit more. So this distance right here where my blue paint ends, that's the circumference of my circle, and it is a distance of 3.14. So this tells me that the relationship between my diameter and my circumference is 1 to 3.14. Now that we know the relationship or the ratio between diameter and circumference, we can come up with our formula for circumference. We discovered that the diameter times approximately 3.14 equals the circumference. But there is something special about the number 3.14. We call it pi, and we use this symbol to represent it. Pi is actually an irrational number. That means it is a never-ending decimal. The numbers just keep going on forever. But we can shorten it to 3.14, and this gives us a very accurate calculation for circumference. Sometimes calculators have a pi button that uses more decimal places in calculations. This is good for very precise measurements. But for us, we will just use 3.14. So we can write our formula as C, the circumference, is equal to D, the diameter, times pi. I can also plug in the radius. Because we know D is equal to 2r, we can also say C is equal to 2 times pi times r. Now let's do this example of finding the circumference of a circle. So I have this distance is given to me, and since it goes from the edge to the center of the circle, I know that this is equal to my radius r. So I can plug it into our formula here. Circumference is equal to 2 times pi times my radius, which is 5 feet. So now if I multiply my 2 and my 5 together, I get 10 feet, and I'm multiplying all of that by pi, and 10 feet times, remember pi we can say is equal to 3.14 here. And now if I multiply 10 feet by 3.14, I get 31.4 feet. And that's the circumference, or the distance all the way around my circle. Nice work. Now to find the area of a circle, we need to know pi and the radius of the circle. And we can use the formula area equals pi r squared. Remember that squaring a number means multiplying that number by itself. So let's do this example for finding the area together. So I have this distance given to me here, which goes to the center of my circle, so I know that this is equal to my radius r. So I can plug that into my formula here. Area is equal to pi, and then my radius, which is 4 inches squared. And so now this is telling me I have 4 inches times 4 inches. That's what my squared means. So if I multiply my 4's together, I get 16. And if I multiply my inches together, I get inches squared. So now I have A is equal to pi times 16 inches squared. And if I multiply 3.14, my approximation for pi, by 16 inches squared, I get, you might not know that off the top of your head, and that's okay, I get 50.24 inches squared. Remember, our units for area are always to the power of 2. Now let's do this one here. If I have this measurement that goes all the way across, I know that 12 inches is equal to my diameter. But in my formula here, I have an r. But remember, r is equal to half of the diameter. So if I have 12 inches for my diameter, my radius will be half of that, 6 inches. Good, so now I can plug that into my formula. A is equal to pi 6 inches squared. So now if I'm squaring this, I square my number and I square my units. I get pi 36 inches squared. Now I'm going to multiply pi, my approximation, 3.14 times 36 inches squared. And if you don't know that off the top of your head, that's all right. Total comes to 113.04 inches squared. So that would be the total area of this circle. Good job. Now you know the parts of a circle and the formulas for circumference and area. Practice what you've learned by doing the online games and quizzes. Have fun and remember to always be clever. Hey, hey.